Why was SMCT created? Okay, it was created because a lot of veterans with severe traumatic brain injury could have been just as disabled, I say collectively, that's the right word, as someone getting SMC R1 or R2, okay? But that would have never qualified for would have never met the statutory requirements for SMC R1 or R2. And I'll give you an example. For R1, right, which is about the most veterans who are severely disabled are going to reach. You need 2 rates of SMC-L through N, right? And that gets you to SMC-O. Yeah, so in other words, if you had 2 rates of SMC-L, that's going to get you to SMC-O. One of those needs to be aid and attendance at the regular level. Then you go to R1. Okay, that's not an easy thing to get. So let's say you have mental disability, like Rachel said, you need protection from your own environment. Right, you can't be left alone. Not so much because you can't go to the bathroom on your own, or you can't bathe on your own, which are needs of daily living and do qualify for A&A. But the alternate criteria is if you can't protect yourself. Right, so if you're a danger to be left alone. So say you have a mental disability that's severe. That's going to get you 1 rate of SMC-L. Another rate of SMC-L, for example, would be loss of use of both legs or amputations below the knee, right? Bilateral amputations or bilateral loss of use. That also is a rate equal to L. So in order to get to R1 in that situation, a veteran would have to have loss of use of both legs, resulting in SMC-L, and need aid and attendance for a completely separate service-connected disability so severe that they couldn't be left alone. In that scenario, you're going to go to SMC-O. If you're at SMC-O and you need A&A, the rule is you go straight to R1. But even then, you're not at SMC-R2. Take that same veteran who needed A and had loss of use of both legs. If the aid and attendance is not provided by a licensed healthcare practitioner, almost like a live-in nurse, and I'm advising here, we're not quoting from the regulation. But even then, you would have to have one of those type of people doing the aid and attendance, or else you don't qualify for R2.
We'll do an example, maybe.